Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Sunday afternoon to you all. Hope you guys are doing well out there. I know I normally don't make a video around this time of the day. Normally it's in the morning and in the evening, but I really wanted to jump on here this afternoon and talk about what is going on with Hurricane Fiona. It is now a hurricane. It's an 85 mile per hour hurricane. It is a strengthening hurricane. It is absolutely crushing all of Puerto Rico right now. When I tell you all of Puerto Rico, I really mean it. The actual center of the storm right here, and we're just going to jump right into this. If you guys haven't subscribed, certainly consider doing that. But all our prayers are certainly, a lot of our prayers are going to what Puerto Rico right now. The videos coming out of Puerto Rico and just outside of Ponce, hopefully I said that right, Punce. From reading in the comments, certain people pronounce it differently, but just west of there, seeing some videos from some storm chasers that made their way to Puerto Rico, and it looks awful. Wind gusts are over 100 miles per hour in certain areas. And what you got going on, and this is the latest radar run. Now the radar has went out in this area, it looks like. So this radar imagery you're seeing, the latest one is 46 minutes old. So the radar has been going in and out all day, but it looks like it's really kind of taking a punch. And here's the actual radar out of Puerto Rico right here. So it's getting slammed, but what we call feeder bands. So this is the middle of the storm right here, the L, and it's actually taking the same track we kind of thought it was going to take. We always thought it was potentially going to clip southwest Puerto Rico, and that is what it's doing right here. This is the technical eye of the storm, if there is one, and this is certainly it. So I think this will technically probably make a landfall right into here in these towns and cities of Puerto Rico. But these feeder bands, you got one right here, you got one right here, you got one right here, and they're all kind of grouping into each other. But listen, this is some intense conditions in these feeder bands. I'm talking wind gust reaching 80 to as much as 100 miles per hour. Even though the center of the storm's right here, and we all know with hurricanes, the closer you get to the center of the storm, the more the winds mix to the surface, the more higher the wind gusts are. Well, in these feeder bands, sometimes you call them outer bands. People who live in the coastal regions of Florida, the deep south, the southeast, that's been affected by hurricanes. You've heard of the term outer bands. Well, you can think of this as like this, but it's almost worse that this hurricane isn't just going right into Puerto Rico. Instead, it's kind of went from right around down here, and it's just kind of been going this way very slowly. And it's obviously right here, right now, the actual center of the storm. So these feeder bands just keep going into Puerto Rico. And this is around 3 p.m. Eastern time right now. So by the time some of you folks watch this, it doesn't matter. Puerto Rico is going to be getting hit hard by these feeder bands all afternoon, all evening, and they have been all day. This is dropping feet of rain into Puerto Rico. And what's unfortunate is almost all of Puerto Rico is a mountainous area. So mountainous terrains enhance flooding risk, and this is just an awful situation. It is certainly probably the worst tropical system that's hit this area since Maria. It's hard to compare anything to Hurricane Maria, which I think went into this area of Puerto Rico up here. But this is a strengthening hurricane. There's a difference between kind of a landfalling strengthening hurricane and a landfalling weakening hurricane. A strengthening hurricane is obvious. It's strengthening upon landfall, and we've seen the differences there. And this is packing a punch, but just right into Punce. We'll just say Ponce. Gets hard. This area is getting hit very hard because you're right inside that inner wall of what is Hurricane Fiona right here. So this is a bad situation. Even areas into basically the northeastern part of the island is getting hit hard. San Juan is getting hit hard. Everybody is. You see all these kind of bright banding, what we call the oranges, the yellows. This is intense rain. This is intense winds and all of this. So we're going to take a break from looking at this really quick. But here it is, a more broader view at this. This is the Dominican Republic. I'm really starting to think this is not going to make a landfall in the Dominican Republic. This is probably going to go like this if I had to guess. But who knows? It might kind of drag a little further west-northwest. If it does that, then more of the Dominican Republic will be impacted. But the worst of this storm as you can tell right here, is on the north, northwest, north, northeast, and eastern portions of this storm right here. If I've mixed up my directional orientation, if you will, at all, I apologize. Sometimes I like to say northwest rather than northeast, or northeast rather than northwest, but hope you guys know what I mean out here. So 100% of Puerto Rico is without power right now. Right at this moment, 100% of Puerto Rico is without power. That's incredible in a bad way. It really is. So here it is. This is the true blue look at satellite visibility here. I mean, this has the structure of a Category 1, Category 2 hurricane. It's a strengthening storm. It's blowing up intense convection right in the middle of the storm. It's got about the best looking eye as a Category 1 hurricane can have. And, I mean, it's got an anticyclonic flow ahead, creating an outflow. This storm is strengthening. And this is potentially going to become a major hurricane as it gets into this area right here. So we're going to take a look at some storm chasing footage. This is Brett Adair and Brandon Clement, two well-known storm chasers in this area. And they're just west of Ponce, Puerto Rico, just west of this area. And this is the video coming out of this area. We'll try to play here. This is, I mean, this looks like 80 to 100 mile per hour winds right here. It is obviously, as you can tell, causing a lot of damage. It's ripping roofs apart. Definitely hitting this area very hard. I mean, it's raining shingles, pieces of people's roof right here. It looks like it's hailing pieces of roof, and of course there's the storm surge. So bad situation, guys. It looks like it's worse than maybe previously thought, maybe 24, 48 hours ago. But that is some intense winds. I mean, I chased Hurricane Ida in Louisiana last year, and I mean, that rivals that, and that tells you that this is strengthening right now. It is. So here it is, 100% of Puerto Rico without power. The power grid has failed. That is almost 1.5 million people, which is the entire population of Puerto Rico. You guys are getting hit very hard. Prayers are out for you guys. I think if we look back 48 hours ago, we would think that this wasn't going to be that bad. This was maybe just going to be a strong tropical storm. Things have trended much worse, and you guys are taking it by the chin out here. So I'm praying for you guys. I'm hoping for the best for y'all. Hopefully the loss of life is a minimum. It's hard to imagine we're going to get out of this with no loss of life, but it's an 85 mile per hour storm. If it goes up much more, it'll be a Category 2 hurricane. Obviously, hurricane warnings up for the entire area of Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, and unfortunately, Puerto Rico, like I said, is getting hit hard by the worst conditions just due to the fact that the worst part of this hurricane is on the northeast side, not northwest. If I've said that at any time, I do apologize. Radar glitching. But here's the eye. I mean, this is it right here. This was it 53 minutes ago. This is probably since, I imagine this right here. Let's see if we can pause this. I imagine this right here is probably somewhere around in this area right here. But you're going to be dealing with these awful conditions in these areas, that these feeder bands continue to feed in right here all the rest of the night, the rest of the evening and night. So I'm hoping for the best for you guys. We're all praying for you guys. Please just hunker down. But the entire state of Puerto Rico getting feet of rain and wind gusts upwards from 50 to as much as 100 miles per hour. I think the highest wind gust I've seen is 109 miles per hour. So terrible situation. I won't have another video tonight. I honestly think the radar is out for the count, if I had to guess. I can't imagine them going out in the middle of hurricane conditions and fixing a radar. So this might be, once again, this might be the last look per radar that we have on Hurricane Fiona for a long time. And in fact, maybe it just came back. It did. So now it's only 12 minutes old. So I tell you what, it's still rolling here. So it looks like it just updated. This is only 12 minutes old now. So it looks like it just came back. So the center of the storm, it looks like it's almost making landfall right now. This is the center of the storm. See that how that really glitches in time and goes up about 45 minutes. So there you go. This is the latest update from 12 minutes ago. But that's all I got, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. Stay safe out there. We'll talk about what's going on in the rest of the country in the morning. But please stay safe overnight, and I think y'all know that. It goes without me saying. Hoping for the best for you guys. God bless all y'all, and y'all have a great rest of your evening.